I thought my long-lost sister had abandoned my family, but she reappeared just to tell me the truth. I always grew up feeling like something was wrong, always felt like something was missing. I grew up with very faint memories of having an older sister, but they were all blurry as if I had only seen her through the eyes of a toddler. As soon as I learned how to speak, she was the first thing I asked my parents about. When I was a kid, my parents told me that she was just in my dreams. They had always been extremely strict religious people, and they made it clear as I grew up that they loved their pastors and fellow churchgoers more than me. My parents didn't believe in hugging, and they would make me copy scripture from the Bible for hours as punishment if I ever acted out. When I got to high school, I decided to bring up the question of my sister again. I guess because I was a little older now, my parents figured that I deserved the truth. I asked my parents again and told them I almost distinctly remembered having an older sister. I remember her being sweet and rocking me to sleep. My mom gave my dad this nervous look, but he looked as cold as ever. That's when he told me that my older sister had stolen money from him when she was 15 and she had been living at a boarding school ever since. I asked her where she was. I couldn't help myself from crying. I was so excited. I had an older sister. I couldn't wait to meet her, but that excitement was ripped away when my dad said that she had abandoned her family as soon as she turned 18. He told me that she didn't want to see me. He said that I would probably die without meeting her, and it was for the best. He even said that I better not turn out a sinner like her. I tried to ask more questions about her. I yelled back at my parents for the first time in my entire life, and my dad responded by leaving a bright red mark on my face. He said that if I ever brought her up again in his house, he would ship me off just like he did her. I held my face but also his stare and said he might as well, and that I would rather be with her, whoever she was, than with the two of them. My parents became even more strict after that. I wasn't allowed to have any non-Christian friends in high school or any screens in my room. It was hard to make friends since people didn't understand why I was so sheltered, but I was lucky to meet a couple cool, kind kids in my high school's youth group. It was the only extracurricular activity my parents allowed me to do, and I was desperate for any sort of social interaction after school. I was pretty surprised to see that a lot of other kids in the youth group had similar issues with their strict parents, and we ended up confiding all our secrets to each other. I ended up meeting my very first best friend, Marissa, in there. I told her all about how I wanted to find my sister one day, and we hatched a plan to run away from our parents' houses together the second we turned 18. I knew I had been through a lot, but when Marissa told me about how her parents forced her to kneel on rice every day for a month after she came out to them as a lesbian, I counted my blessings. My friends carried me throughout high school. My mental state tanked the second I stepped into my house, but Marissa ended up giving me one of her old phones, and I used